Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is Trump prioritize the wealthy while he leaves you behind. Now, this is part 2 of my last video, 1 Democrat versus 20 Maga Republican Trump supporters. So, we're going to be reacting to this. Just stay tuned, stay locked in. We're about to start now. So, basically, they're claiming, like I said, Trump prioritized the wealthy while he leaves you behind. And these are the Maga voting against this 1 Democrat. So, let's start right now.
Wow.
Nice to meet you, I'm JP.
Good to see you, JP.
Let's get right into it.
Let's go.
Yeah, so I think that I can see your claim. I want to hear you argue it a little more if you want.
I mean, the main argument is that look at all the things that Trump promised. He promised that he would make us not pay taxes. He promised us that we would have gas prices, national average, less than $2 a gallon. And he promised that he would cut our energy bills in half within a year. It's a year. We don't have any of that. Our energy bills are up 11%. Meanwhile, we see the wealthiest 1% of Americans getting about $1 trillion worth of tax cuts with a big rip-off bill.
How do you feel about the gas prices currently right now? Like Trump in office and stuff like that? Comment down below. And what about the taxes and how much we're paying in taxes?
I would say that's very clear that he's more focused on the wealthiest people in our country.
I think that the argument that I would make, and I think it's a structural one, is that we've got, for the last 30 years, globalism has dulled our strategic thinking. And if we want real change, it's not gonna happen, not in a year. It's gonna be a strong break, and that's just beginning.
But he said it
What we've seen, and I think that's just part of the issue with a lot of Democrats, is a hyper-fixation on consumers, on, the products. But what we've lost is labor, and I think you, as a Democrat, should understand this.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was a bad thing to be concerned about prices.
Under Joe Biden,
I didn't know
we
that
had a 50 to 60% increase of border crossings. The illegal immigrant population, you can fact check me on this, Jubilee, but I think it almost doubled. It's like 10 million people came into this country. That affects working class Americans.
Look, he on the spot, 10.8 million.
Democrats don't care about this policy. The reality is that Democrats will be, tariffs are a tax on consumers. But what do you say about the workers in America that have lost their jobs? Millions and millions of jobs that have left this country. If you think this is gonna change in a year, then you're wrong. We need policy that's brave and courageous, and that's what we're seeing with Trump.
First off, the unemployment rate is higher since Trump has taken office. So
the unemployment rate has not changed much.
I don't really know what you're talking about.
This last quarter, we had a 4% increase.
I think that we should
inflation
on the fact
increased
that
much more than the last year's Biden administration.
That it was controversial.
When Trump got elected the first time and the economy went up, you guys said, it's because he's benefiting from the Obama economy. But now that it's the first year and the economy is starting to lift up, you guys
starting to lift up?
You guys don't say the same thing.
Isn't inflation going up? What are you talking about?
Do you remember Joe Biden's presidency? What do you think happens when the government expands and continues to spend its money? Lets millions of illegal immigrants.
How do you guys feel about the tariffs that Trump is putting on? And how do you feel about just inflation in general with the country, with the prices of the food, the gas, just the cost of living, and like how things are just not matching up, like with the jobs and the pay versus cost of living, like the ratio and stuff like that? Let me know in the comments.
This isn't going to go anywhere if you're just going to give a monologue.
If you want to lower inflation and at the same time bring back jobs, you need to do two things.
I don't think your friends think you're doing
domestic deregulation, while at the same time fighting the externalization of labor. We've left our country kill itself, and we don't want to do that no longer. If it's going to take some discomfort, I welcome it, and I think many Americans welcome it. What we're not going to do, and what the Trump administration is not going to do, that Democrats did, is ignore the American people. Yes, popular sentiment right now, they're not comfortable with the economy. Okay. But they have not been comfortable with the economy in the last 30 years.
Because you've been talking for a solid 3.5 minutes.
Do you think the economy has worked under Biden or under Obama?
Here's what we were talking about. I'm going to remind you about the prompt. The idea in front of us is that it was not me that put these expectations on Donald Trump. Trump said it himself. He said that he would cut our energy bills in half by a year. He said that he could just go walk into the
drill,
Oval
baby,
Office
drill. It's
and get it
beginning.
done. And what's happened for people in this country?
We're exporting
their
more
energy
LNG now
bills
than ever
are
before.
going up,
It's
left
beginning.
and
It's
right.
beginning.
11%
Energy
up
policy
is a
is
lot
becoming
different
saner.
than 50% down like what he originally promised.
Why don't you like
Trump's not delivering.
Why don't you like about our current energy policy?
Why is it that you cannot
the Democrats are the ones that constrain energy. The Democrats are the ones that constrain drill, baby, drill.
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
That's fine.
I like you guys' energy, I will say that.
Who we got next?
Okay, great.
It's an ad.
Wait, were you even listening?
Come on, ad.
You haven't taken a single note this entire
no,
meeting?
get out of here. Listen, why they trying to throw an ad? Why they trying to throw an ad in front of us? Like, come on.
Oh,
You're back.
she's quick.
Hello. I just kind of want to piggyback off some of the things I feel like my last friend was trying to get to. So, and you said Trump set the expectation for himself. And so what I feel like a lot of people do on the left is they hear Trump and they hear it through the lens of, I already hate him, I already want him to fail. So already you're coming at it from a very counterproductive perspective. The way, because I've watched every Trump rally because I had to.
Really?
Absolutely, because I used to hate him. But what I found out was the reasons why.
So why do so many people hate Trump? Like, what is the thing? What is the stigma against Trump? You know, I'm trying to figure that out, you know.
I hated him was because of how things were cut up and presented to me for so many years. So I had to take it upon myself to go back. I had a lot of time in COVID to go back, watch every rally. A lot of it was hilarious, but it really gave me a full, better understanding of, oh, he was really saying this, right? So because I used to be on the left, absolutely. How I see we're gonna do it within a year is the policies are gonna activate. We're gonna have clear policies and we're gonna make moves within the first year. Now, if you're being honest with yourself and you're being genuine, good things take time. Change takes time. We're not gonna fix everything that fell apart in 1 year. We're not gonna see the results by December. To me, that it would just be disingenuous to say that you believe that anybody could do that, especially since how we've suffered post-COVID. The globe suffered post-COVID. We have a lot to fix. So what I saw was him saying, hey, we're gonna do these things, policy, we're gonna have the strategy, the things set in place within the first year. Hence all the manufacturing deals. We have absolutely, NVIDIA, we have so much money coming into this country to build plants. All that's gonna take time. And all of that's going to help the working class. Because let me tell you something, I'm also still the working class. I'm college educated. I know they said Maga wasn't college educated or black, but I am. And let me tell you, but I'm also still working class. I also still drive Uber, drive Lyft. I clean a yoga studio. And let me tell you, usually those jobs go to, and no offense, but a lot of illegal immigrants to be.
Let me step in. So first off, I acknowledge that you work hard, right? That is a lot of work, and I want to salute you for that. But the reality is that a lot of people in this country listened to Trump rallies, and they heard him say specific things, and that's what informed him that's what informed them to go and make the decision to vote for him. The reality is that when you make promises, you're going to be graded on whether or not you keep them. And the reality is that he promised that he would cut our energy bills in half. That has not happened. It hasn't even remotely.
Have you seen on
How are you guys' energy bill, like far as, electric bill and stuff like that when Trump came to office? Let me know.
Twitter, all the people
but wait a
thanking
second,
Trump about the gas prices, they're low. They're not low here in the Democratic state.
Hold up.
Yeah.
The energy bills are up 11%. That is a fact.
But
the national average for gasoline in this country is literally almost the exact same as what it was a year ago.
I know, but
it's about 5 cents less.
But even if you compare it by state, I feel like a lot of Democratic-ran states are suffering.
It's an average.
Okay, but that includes all the Democratic states.
How's an average
with huge populations.
How's an average calculated?
You calculate everybody together and then you divide it.
So were Democratic states included in the average last year?
Absolutely.
So they are included this year.
Okay.
So why are you mentioning this is some new phenomenon?
Okay, what I'm saying
Blue states
is-
were in there last year as they are this year.
So you're
And this year, gas prices are, if you compare it between this week and
They're
this
lower.
week last year,
No, but
it's
they're
only
lower than
5
last
cents
year.
lower.
But they're
And it
lower
was
than
Trump
last
that
year.
promised that he would have
But they
these
were
gas
lower.
prices
But the
less
prices
than
are
$2
lower
a
than
gallon.
last year, dude. There are so many people
$2?
thanking Trump right now
5
on
cents.
TikTok. Just look for
$2 is a big stretch. Gas is at $3.90 right now, almost $4. So
it. I know you don't want to look for it and you don't want to see the truth, but just look for it. It's so many people taking pictures of the gas prices in
5
Texas
cents.
and Louisiana going, dang, I ain't seen gas. It's $1.19. I done seen
not
that so
happening.
many times on
That
TikTok,
doesn't
bro.
happen.
I promise to goodness, all you got to do is go look for it, baby, because
You can
it's
look
out
at the
there.
average.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You can look
You
at the
trying to do
average.
numbers, but I'm telling you, real people.
Because
I'm a
facts,
real person sitting in front of
facts
you.
are over feelings. That's how
This
things
isn't
work.
feelings, it's reality.
Facts don't care about
It's
feelings.
reality.
That's
This
how
is
it
not a
goes.
feeling. It's reality.
And the reality is that the national average for gas is literally only 5 cents lower than what it was a year ago. And Trump
Oh,
said,
so it's lower. So it got it lower.
Trump said that
And
he was
it's
going to have
keep-
it less than
and it's
$2 a
gonna-
gallon.
And it's going to keep dropping.
Is that lower than
but
$2
it's
a gallon?
lower. There's progress.
So you're going
And
to celebrate 5 cents?
Yeah, I'm going to celebrate anything that's lower. Yes, but and it's going to keep going. I'm not in my ego, bro.
Says who?
You're coming at this in your ego.
In my
I'm
ego
coming-
because I'm looking at the facts?
No, I'm coming at this as an American who wants to see everybody prosper and succeed.
So
Period.
here's what's not prospering in
I really want to know. Comment down where you're from and your gas prices so I can see the average of the people. I just got to see. Mine's like $3.90, $4, $4.19. And I'm in Philadelphia, depending on which gas station you're going to.
this country. The fact that people are seeing real wage growth in this country, literally half of what it was last year. The people in this country that are literally
Are you
watching.
talking about unemployment?
What?
Are you talking about unemployment?
Do you know what real wage growth is?
Absolutely.
What is it?
But I'm saying, okay, wage growth as in how much we're making as Americans. Like if the money we take home is growing. That's what you mean.
Inflation,
Yeah.
growth.
Right, right.
How they make that determination.
Right, right.
And if you look at that number,
Right.
with everything together,
Yes.
it's half of what it was last year.
Okay. But I'm saying there are so many different factors that contribute to that.
Foreclosures are up.
Absolutely.
People cannot afford to live.
But literally, this was last year. This has been happening since the
you
pandemic.
had a president
This
that
has been
ran
happening
for office
since the
saying
pandemic.
that all he had to do was to get in office and he would
And now
fix
you're
every
coming back-
problem
okay,
in
so
America.
it's-
And the reality is
Now you're
that
coming
hasn't
back
happened.
to. Now you're coming back to. We want the magic wand. You have
You
to be
guys
practical.
ran on having a magic
Oh, yeah, she
wand.
like-
You
get
guys,
voted
I
out.
didn't run nothing.
One more
Like, what are you
slide.
talking about? You're
I
literally
thought that's
you're
what we
coming.
were talking
Like
about.
literally, there's no
Pause.
magic
You've
wand.
been voted out by the majority. Please take your seat. Thank you.
Okay. Who we got next?
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it.
Wait. Y'all not going.
Meet base.
Y'all not going to try and throw an ad in my video again. Like, we're not going to do that, bro.
Sorry, guys.
Hi, how's it going?
Nice to meet you.
to see you.
I just wanted to piggyback on something that was said before about like the average of gas prices. So I know about this pretty well. So I'm from Washington State, and we had something called the Climate Commitment Act done by our Democrat-run state, which actually raised our gas prices since last year. So when you talk about the average only going down that much, it has gone down in a lot of other places in the country, but it's actually gone up in several blue states. So that's probably why you're seeing the average not go down
We cooking.
by as much. So a lot of blue states live in insulated bubbles where they're not even getting the effects of some of the benefits of Trump's policies like deregulation for energy.
Did blue states have gas taxes last year?
No, it was a new. Well,
that's-
what we had is the CCA was introduced from 2022. The people tried to repeal it through an initiative. We gathered almost 2.4 million signatures,
That's not
and
what I asked, though.
it was
I
declined
said,
by the.
did blue states have gas taxes last year?
I can speak to my blue state. Yeah, we had. It was a new gas tax that we tried to repeal.
Blue states, as in California, Washington, other places,
sure.
have had gas taxes for a long time, and they literally were in the national average last year, and they're in it this year. If you look at states like Texas, for example, that's a state that does not have this particular act that you're mentioning. Gas prices might be lower by 10 cents, 7 cents, 8 cents, something to that degree. The reality is that Trump promised nationally that he was going to bring the national average of gas less than $2 a gallon. That has not happened. But here's what he has delivered on.
I mean,
here's
people say a lot of things in the campaign.
here's what he has delivered on.
That would be
Trillions
nice.
of dollars, $3.4 trillion worth of tax cuts, $1 trillion of which flowed to the wealthiest 1% of Americans. He can keep promises to his rich donor friends, but he can't keep promises to people like you.
I'm more
and to
concerned
me,
with-
I think that's the reason
Sure.
why Republicans are struggling
Sure.
across this
I don't
country.
really care if the rich are getting richer as long as the middle class and lower class are also taken care of. I don't believe in this whole idea that it's a zero-sum game and that in order for the poor to do better, the rich have to do worse.
Is that what I said?
No, but that's kind of what you're implying because we weren't even talking about.
not what I said,
We're not,
though.
we're not talking about. We're
said
talking about
was-
what affects people like me, right?
Well,
So
what
gas
affects-
prices affect people like
well,
me.
what affects people like you is that Trump has not delivered on his whole promise of just wiping a pen on a piece of paper and then lowering people's gas prices.
But
What he
you-
has
you
not
ran for
delivered.
office because
What he
you
has
know
not.
Is he delivering? What you guys think?
Not how
What
it
he has
works,
not
right?
what he has not delivered on is the fact that literally people have their energy bills that are going up left and
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Inflation is going up. Food
Yeah.
prices are going up.
And in my
left right.
Democrat-run state,
Grocery
they
prices
they
are
voted
going
to
up
increase energy
everywhere
prices.
across this country.
Right.
The reality is,
Like a gallon of milk is like $5 in certain places. Like a juice is like $3 in certain places. Like,
is that you guys ran
But I mean, supply and demand.
on an
the
agenda.
reality.
You ran on an agenda of lowering people's prices, and you did not.
Okay.
You didn't do that.
Oh, we didn't do that across the board. Okay.
No,
Now,
you didn't.
Well,
That's
when
what
you
a
look at-
national average is.
Sure, I understand that, but you're completely ignoring the factors that come into play in those individual states. In my state, just like they voted to raise the gas tax for what the gas you fill up in your car, they also voted to increase the gas for your natural gas that you use to heat your home. That affected small businesses. That affected immigrant small businesses more than anybody. You're not listening,
listening.
actually,
I'm
because
not
you're
talking
as
about
soon as I
gas
tell you
prices in
something
one
that
state,
actually affects the
because it's
average
irrelevant.
and middle, it's irrelevant. The middle class
here's-
is irrelevant.
I never said that.
Well,
Here's what I said.
I'm trying to talk about what
Because
affects
here-
the middle class, and you're talking about billionaires
because
and tax
here's
breaks.
because here's what I said.
Okay.
What I said was that the national average is comprising of all 50 states.
Sure, I get what an
different
average is.
states have different policies, and the reality is that some of these states that you're mentioning literally had gas taxes last year as well. They were also included in the average that Trump was lambasting, saying that it was so high and that he was going to get into office and completely change that. He
You
said
realize
that.
states have
so
state
the
rights, so
reality,
Trump just can't
so
come
the
into a state
Well,
and
that was
say,
his
like-
promise.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Oh my God, he's saying
He
that
maybe he should have thought about promising something that he couldn't
Okay.
deliver on.
Okay, sure. Every politician should think.
Wait, so what's the facts on this? Can y'all guys fact check this? Did Donald Trump say he could get gas prices below $2? I don't know if that's true. I
about
gotta
that.
fact
What
So
check
then
politician
that's
has
what we're
delivered on
talking
everything
about.
that they've done?
That's the
realistically.
point. So the point is,
You're harping on this one thing and avoiding the actual thing that states are being mismanaged by Democrat-run states, from the governor down to the Senate to Congress and mayors. I just won an election up in Snohomish County in Washington. Shout out, Aaron. And we won, one of the only Republicans to win in our state. And we did that by communicating to the people and actually figuring out what they want and being an open book and not being this insulated, we know better than everybody and we're going to try to, manipulate your life into what we want it to be. That's not how it works.
what were some of the things that you guys promised?
What we promised to actually, we didn't make any promises to any sort of donors or builders or anything like
What
that.
did you say that you would do in office?
That we would listen to the people and that we would.
What does that mean?
Well, the biggest complaint about people was permitting. Permitting takes too long, and people were complaining about housing, that too much multifamily housing was being built. Well, guess what? If you make permitting so long and arduous, builders only want to build multifamily because if it's going to take years for the permit to go through, they're not going to get their money back unless they make this building a multifamily thing.
Right. So if you were,
You know what though? In a lot of low income places, you got a lot of businesses coming in and a lot of houses coming in, and the people that live in that community don't have the say to vote on whether they want that building to be there. So it's no like permits, or a lot of people don't know they could vote, and a lot of people need to get educated, because if you don't want a building in your city or we know your area, you could vote. So we need a lot of people with knowledge on that, because I'm not even in that say if a new building come around my way. So
to be in office
Uh-huh.
and you didn't deliver on that,
Sure.
what would you think?
I would want to be held responsible for that. And I criticize Trump for that. I'm not
You
here a
think that people
sycophant.
should be held accountable if
Yeah.
they don't deliver on what they're
100%.
supposed
That's
to
what we
do.
have elections for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the point is the whole reason why we're having this conversation is because you guys, the Republicans, have not delivered on what they said that they would deliver. Food prices are up.
Okay.
Energy bills are up. everything is up.
Yeah, the energy bills and gas prices are up in my state because of Democrats.
Because the point is that
like that's just facts.
We're talking about national averages.
This is rhetoric. This actually means so little because
it
doesn't
means so little to that person that goes to the grocery store and realizes that they can't afford anything. No, it means so little to the person that's losing their jobs left and right.
It means so little to the person who's seeing $2 gas in other parts of the country and they're paying $5.25 a gallon. That's who it means a lot to. Okay.
What do you say?
It means a lot to the people that are single moms needing to like go take their kids to doctor's appointments.
What state are you referring to that's paying $2 and something a gallon?
Like Oklahoma, Tennessee. I saw in Arizona, I paid $2.80.
In Arizona, okay, if you look at the state average for Arizona, it's about maybe 10%, maybe a little bit lower, but it's not. But we don't even know that.
I don't get, you're
we don't even know
that it did lower, but just not as much as you wanted it to lower.
Because that's what you.
I don't get what your point is.
Because that was your promise.
I don't get what your point.
That's what you promised.
Okay.
You promised that you were going to have these prices less than $2 a gallon nationally, and that did not happen.
I look a little different than Trump. I did not say those things.
Well, Trump still made these promises.
He did, sure.
And he didn't deliver it.
Okay,
there we go.
Congrats.
That's the argument. The only promises that seem to be kept are for those that are well connected in this country. Because it makes no sense to me that we got the tax exemptions.
If someone else breaks your promise for you, is that still your fault?
What?
If you promise something to somebody and say there's a middleman, like, I don't know, a state government, and then that middleman completely takes away what you promised to somebody else, is that still your fault, or is that the fault of the person who actually has control in that area?
Why don't you explain to me what this Washington particular thing is?
It's the CCA, it's the Climate Commitment Act.
So what is that?
So it's essentially it's a carbon tax, and Jay Inslee, the last governor of the state, promised that it would only increase gas prices by pennies. That's what he literally said. He said pennies. We're talking about pennies. On average, it increased between 50 to 70 cents per gallon. I'm not, listen,
Pause. I'm sorry.
All right.
All right, that's part 2. We're going to go part 3, part 4, part 5, but let me know in the comments, do Trump prioritize the wealthy and leave people behind? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. And just go watch the last video to check out, what's going on. That was a little nice video I did. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you for watching. Make sure y'all show some love.